Welcome to the podcast with your favorite cash flow guys, Mike and Blaine. Giving you the best advice while having a beer. When you're running a business, there are problems every day. Let Mike and Blaine help you out and guide your way. Cheers to the good times with Mike and Blaine for business, beer, and BS.
Hey, you're listening to Mike and Blaine. I'm Mike Mylan. That is Blaine Birch. We are Mike and Blaine of Business, Beer, and BS, and this is the episode that's supposed to be funny. Right? We're going to be funny. I'm in a great mood. I'm in Utah. Man, what's up? What's going on with you?
Now all the pressure's on us was going to be like, I wasn't going to find anything funny. But
we'll get all these
good.
comments like going, yeah, we'll get all these comments. That shit wasn't funny.
Yeah, exactly. But the topic's good. Is humor a secret weapon in your sales? Is it like the ROI of LOL, as you call it? So that's a really kind of a fun little topic we're going to dive into. But before we get into that topic, okay, interesting thing. This is, I think, the first time we've recorded and been in the same time zone.
Oh, I think that's right. Yeah. So, yeah, if you guys don't know, I'm in Utah working with a client this week, and that puts us in the same time zone, and I was still late.
Yeah, that's true.
I had an extra hour, and I was still late.
and then you came in, and I said, "Where's the topic for this week?" And you're like, "Yeah, I rewrote it earlier today, and I totally missed it." So we're both really on the mark today. So it'll be a good episode coming up. But we got a bunch of beer sponsors. But so what kind of beer? First of all, what kind of beer are you drinking before we thank our sponsors for the beer?
Hey, all right. So I actually have a Utah beer out of Moab Brewery, Moab, Utah. So,
Nice.
and I liked it because it was funny. It says right up top, it says, "Put some hops in your step." I'm like going, damn, that's really clever, right? It's just like, oh man, it put some hops in your step. So it's an IPA from it's called Johnny's American IPA. And the brewery, because I'm not familiar with it as well, is the moabbrewery.com. So if you want to check them out, I'm going to try it. It's going to be good.
It's funny. As soon as I saw that can, I'm like, that can looks really familiar. And you know why? Because we stayed in Moab a few years ago and walked across the street to Moab Brewery and grabbed some beer to bring back to the hotel room. And I see you're making a mess of your hotel room, probably your keyboard too, with that Moab beer.
What the hell is happening with beers anymore?
It used to just be Pat's beer that would overflow, but now it's the Moab one too. So
now it's the Moab one. That's not a good showing there, Mr. Moab.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
did you see that? I opened it and I just picked this up. All I did was just walk it from the store over to the hotel. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it looks like? It looks like the Looney Tunes.
The Looney Tunes. You're right.
Yeah. That's all, folks.
That's awesome. I love that can. It looks great. So my beer today, now this is from, I've actually featured this brewery before, but I can't remember where they're from, and I can't find it on, I think it might be Colorado. So the brewery is Tripping Animals, and it's a collaboration with OG Brewing in Colorado. So I think maybe they're both from Colorado, but it's called Sun Juju, and it's a double IPA, and I love the label on this. It's this kind of a raccoon that looks like he's had too much sun or maybe too much something else here. He looks pretty relaxed.
What's that raccoon? Yeah. What's that raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy? What's that guy's name?
That's kind of what he looks like. Yeah. He looks like I can't remember the name, but yeah, he does. He looks like that raccoon. And it's a bit of a heavy one. I think it's about, 6.5%. There's another one I was looking at from these guys was 8%. So I picked the right one today. So, and it's delicious. I'm quite excited about this one.
I'm glad you said that. I better look. Oh, that's only 5%er. Good.
Oh,
I drink 25 of those.
Yeah. Be walking back across the street partway through the episode. I'll be right back. Keep it running.
Yeah.
All right. We got some, exactly. We got some beer sponsors. And in fact, I'm kicking off with one that's come back. So Devin was gone for, I don't know, maybe only 2 weeks. And he came back, the biggest LSU fan on the planet. Also beautiful shot of him in a Netflix documentary about LSU. And so he's a superstar. And Devin is in for another 10 weeks, which is going to take us well into January. And knowing us, because we'll probably miss a week or two over the holidays, maybe even into February. So thanks again, Devin. It's awesome to have you back. And you're the first one that's into 26. So that's cool.
You know what's funny is that he's actually on kind of a temporary assignment at LSU's bookstore right now. So if you want to meet Devin in person, go there to the LSU bookstore right on campus and go, where the hell's Devin? And then he'll magically appear, right? He'll just appear. Hey, you know what's funny is I thought you were going to do the Eminem song. I thought you were going to sing it like on Guess Who's Back? Devin's back.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Okay.
I'm
not cool enough for that. Yeah, I'm not cool. Although I will say that your Eminem sounded a little bit more like doo-wop.
Oh, well.
You're snapping your fingers.
I don't have that. I don't have that edge. I don't have that edge, right? I'm a little poppy.
Something tells me no one wants to hear either of us attempt to rap. So, that's good. I like that one though.
We've tried that before on this show, and it's out there somewhere. It's. I don't remember where it is. Oh, you have it. I think on our Facebook page too, because you say there's Mike rapping because all my friends make fun of me.
Oh yeah, no. Actually, if you go far enough back on our Facebook page, you'll see Mike rapping, and it is in one of the episodes. I couldn't tell you which episode now. I got 215 of these suckers. Well, after today, so it might be a little bit hard to track down. But who else have we got on the list here for this
we got Karen Harrison, right? Karen Harrison up in Michigan, 3S Smart Consulting. If you're looking for a way to find more cash flow in your business, she is a best-selling author on Amazon called Stop Growing Broke, Start Growing Profits. And boom, go contact Karen at 3S Smart Consulting. She's well worth your call.
And Rachel Barnett with Gentle Frog. If you have a business, you need to know how to use QBO, you got to go talk with Rachel, or actually just go over to her YouTube channel, YouTube/@GentleFrog. A ton of videos telling you how to use QBO, and you can also track her down at gentlefrog.com. So thanks again, Rachel. Really appreciate it.
Yep. And I'm going to throw in Neighbor Pat, right? I know I'm not seeing it there, but Neighbor Pat this week brought me 4 beers, right? Got
Nice.
2 for next week's show. I had 2 that were the fizzy beers from last time. He goes, well, why don't you try these? And you know what? We sat there and talked for a while, and they all have a sediment in the bottom of them now, right? And you've seen beers like that have a sediment, and it's supposed to be that way. If you look at Ruddles, he's trying to make an imitation Ruddles, which is an English beer, and it has a sediment that kind of just settles. So, hey, I'm looking forward to it, right? So I've got 4 beers waiting for me when I get back to Texas.
Oh, nice. I got a beer story right after this too. And we also got to thank Larry Weinstein, the best CPA in Houston, Texas. So if you are looking for a CPA, go look up the Cash Flow Cowboy, Larry Weinstein. He's going to help you run your business better, smarter, stronger, faster, just like the Bionic Man.
Yeah, and his website is the Cash Flow Ranch. The Cash Flow Cowboy hangs out at the cashflowranch.com.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually had this really, I can't remember which beer it was last night, but we went for a walk last night. It's been a little rainy here actually, which is weird because we don't get rain here, but you've seen Vegas is flooding, LA is flooding. We get this right on the very edge. We've got a little bit of rain. It kind of has been showing up a little bit. And last night, beautiful night, we went for a walk. We're just going to run an errand. And all of a sudden it starts spitting. And then, I look at my, the weather app and I'm like, oh no, you can see the map, this big, it's like always green and then yellow and red was just about to come right across where we were. So I look around and there's this Mexican place with a bar right across the parking lot from Safeway. So we went and sat down in the bar and we waited out the rain, had some beer, had some munchies. But this beer that I had, so my wife got a Voodoo Ranger, which you've had lots of times. It's a really nice, just, it looks like this, and then that was the last can they had. So they said, well, we got an IPA on tap. I said, sure, give it to me. And it showed up and I don't know if it was the lighting or what it was, but it looked like it had a purplish cast and it was almost as thick as a milkshake. It was really, really different. Really different. It was just kind of weird, but actually tasted not too bad. But it took me a bit. It was almost like those fruited sours, but it wasn't fruited sours, an IPA that was like just thick. So I drank the whole thing, but the whole time it tasted fine, but I was kind of wondering if it was actually supposed to be like that or if it was like the end of the cake or something, because it looked weird. It looked really weird, to be honest.
I thought you were going to say it's like a Abita Purple Haze. I don't know if it has a purple color through it, but Abita's down in New Orleans, right? Down in Louisiana.
No, this was a local, and I cannot remember the name. I'd never heard of it before. It's in Arizona, but I don't think it's in town. So I couldn't remember. I don't remember what it was, but they did say that it was sort of local. Very strange looking beer, but it did tasted fine once you got past the fact that it looked like it was kind of looked a bit like a light chocolate milkshake. It looked really strange.
Hey, I'm wondering if Rick, remember how Rick chimes in and chats every once in a while?
Mm-hmm.
You're right there in his backyard now. I wonder if he's going to reach out to you and say, "Hey, let's get together, have a beer, have pizza or something." I mean, who knows?
Oh yeah, Rick. Yeah, if you're listening, do that. Just if you don't have my number, Mike's got my number. Drop me a line and we'll go grab a beer and a pizza somewhere. That sounds great. That's a great idea. I always forget that because every time I keep thinking he's in Tucson because of the ill-fated Tucson trip. But you're right. He's in the area here.
Why you gotta talk about that? So if you don't know what he's talking about, I got invited to Rick's I don't know, birthday party. I don't know if it's 50th. I think it's 50th birthday party.
29.
I'm gonna show up. Yeah, I'm gonna show up, right? I'm just gonna jump on a plane. I'm going to Tucson, where he's going to some electro club or whatever it is, nightclub. I don't go to nightclubs, but so he goes to one, and we walk in, nobody's there. He had canceled the party, and he lives in Phoenix. And I was the only one who showed up for the party because I didn't see the cancellation come through. So Courtney
what's even funnier was Courtney also showed up for the party, so you and your wife hanging out at the bar. That was so classic.
We actually had a great weekend. We had a great weekend together. So we just said, "Hey, it was just part of life. One of those dumb things that
makes it fun." And you know what? Tucson's a great town, so nothing wrong with that. But it is a hilarious story. So I was quite thought it was pretty funny. But so your topic today I thought was really interesting. I'm just going to give it a so the ROI of LOL. So it's all about, is humor your secret weapon in sales? Now, I will say one of the challenging things is humor is really hard. Like, I don't know if I've ever been funny, like ever. It's hard.
You're kind of funny today. I've laughed several times. You're kind of funny.
Well, we find each other funny. I don't know if anyone else was. Would someone else find us funny and buy from us? Yeah, maybe not. But so it's a challenge to do it right?
All right. So here's what happened. Remember how all these topics show up just because it's something that happened usually in my life. And I'm watching TV over the weekend, and I haven't laughed at a TV commercial in I don't know how long. Right? Because half the time you just tune out. You're not even paying attention to what it is. But for whatever reason, I watched this one thing, and I threw it on my Facebook, but I'm going to throw it on our Facebook too, because it's damn funny. You might have even seen it when I put it out there, because I took the clip that I thought that was the funniest and put it on my Facebook. I'm like, dude, I ain't seen funny like this in a long time. So it is and you know what's funny? I don't know the name of the product. That's one of the problems, right? That's one of the problems. But I know it's a kind of a natural cleaning chemical, right? Natural cleaning chemical. I do know that. So let me kind of set the stage. It starts off with this kid with this cleaning product in his hand. He goes, "Mom, is this safe to use?" And she goes, "Not without gloves, so don't touch it. Not without this mask, so don't smell it." Not without, use these goggles for your eyes, right? He's going through and putting all this gear on this kid so he can use this chemical.
Yeah.
And then another lady jumps in and she goes, are you worried about, germs and stuff like that? Like throwing raw chicken on a baby's, high chair? It's got
Yeah.
the tray or whatever where the baby sits. And this is what made me laugh. It pans back to the mom of this other kid. It goes, whose baby is that? I can't even say it without laughing. She goes, whose baby is that? That's the commercial, right? And then the spokesperson for the product says, don't worry about that baby. Worry about your baby. And it shows the kid with all this stuff. And then I don't watch the rest of it because that made me laugh so hard I missed the rest of the commercial.
Nice.
I know
Nice.
I have a dumb sense of humor. When you see it, you're going, holy shit, that is funny. Right?
Yeah.
She goes, when she says, whose baby? Like it comes out of nowhere. Like, and this lady does take raw chicken and just throws it on the tray in front of the baby.
Nice. So
Okay, so
you got to put that on the Facebook page because I do want to see it. And yeah, because now you've talked about it, I got to see it, so we'll have to throw it on the Facebook page so you guys can take a look, and I'm sure you'll see it there.
yeah, but it's things like that, right? The thing that just surprise you, like, oh, I didn't expect that because it's. I think drug commercials are weird.
Mhm.
I always think they're the weirdest ones out there. They're
Oh, yeah.
never funny. They're always weird, right? They're like going, you just said I might shit my pants, but everybody's dancing around like it's
Yeah,
fun times because I
exactly.
think this,
Yeah. The weirdest ones, they don't even tell you what it's for. Like they just have a tagline. They don't even tell you what's for. It's like use Bernubanime or whatever. And well, how would I possibly ever know? And why would I ask my doctor? Because he didn't even say what it does. That I find so weird. There's got to be some logic behind it, but I cannot for the life of me figure out what it is.
the interesting thing is that they advertise to turn the audience not necessarily into consumers, into salespeople,
Mm-hmm.
right? Meaning
Yeah.
that they can't get the appointment for the doctor, right? As often as they can because all these doctors get flooded all the time. But
Yeah.
hey, I should try this Bernuba, right? I don't need that's probably a made up name, but if I hear it 5 times in a week, as a doctor, I'm like, what the hell is this Barnuba?
Yeah.
And that's all they really want. That's all they want is the doctor to go look at it and see if it can help somebody.
And I have a little bit of a controversial opinion. I don't think doctors should be able to prescribe medication.
Okay, tell me more.
Because they're not experts in it. They listen to salespeople all day, but they're not experts. Imagine, because the pharmacist is the expert. The pharmacist does a PhD and does all of this time and learning drugs and all the interactions, which has the most severe side effects. They are the experts. So it seems to me that the doctor should be on a prescription pad, should be writing, here's the problem this person has. I want to prescribe something for strep throat. But they shouldn't be picking the drug. The pharmacist should be, because the pharmacist is the expert on it. And, I've seen pharmacists, they'll look at a pad and they'll go, what is, like it was, I've seen this with some of our elderly relatives and that, and they're like, why is the doctor asking for this? Like, this is a concern because they know all the interactions, they know everything. I think it's actually kind of a broken system because I think the doctors prescribe primarily based on, salespeople and what people have asked for.
How would the pharmacist make that determination? Because they're not going to do any type of exam.
No,
right?
no,
They don't have all the other. They don't have all the other details.
No, but the doctor. But that's what should be that's what I think the doctor should be doing, is saying, I've diagnosed the patient. Here's all of the diagnostic information. Here's the problem that I see. Here's the this. Here's the that. And then the pharmacist is going, okay, what might be the right drug, and can ask, what other drugs are you taking, and because they have to go through that process. They're the experts in drugs. And it seems to me that you're actually taking the smartest person on drugs kind of out of the loop in picking the drug. So it might be controversial. People there probably go like, yeah, this guy's got his head so far. But I actually think the doctor is understands medicine and diagnosing the problem, but the actual drug, the pharmacist knows that. That's their entire reason for being.
Yeah. All right. I can go with that. Now back to the topic.
There's a little bit of our BS that we slightly get off topic, and this all came from pharmacists are not funny, and neither are doctors.
All right. So, what is your favorite commercial ever? Like, I mean, funny
Okay,
commercial. You're like, damn, that's if I see that, it's funny.
yeah, I don't know if they were commercials on TV, but you know the ones that I thought were just popped into my mind. So I can't even say this was the funniest or anything. I did really like the Terry Tate Office Linebacker series
Oh,
that was online.
They were definitely on TV. They were on TV.
Yeah, those were funny commercials. But you know what I find as you're talking about this, what kind of struck me is there's kind of a couple ways to get people to remember your brand or remember your tagline. So if you're Nike, you're not doing funny, but you're doing celebrity, and celebrity is extremely expensive. Because I would argue that Nike would not have gotten as much traction with Just Do It with just some guy that no one's ever heard of. Maybe they can now. They've built up the equity in the brand. But early on, when they were first starting, they needed celebrity to do that. That was really expensive. Funny is actually can be a more inexpensive way to do that. The example I give is Where's the Beef? Because those commercials everyone remembers, but it's because it was funny, because it was old lady, where's the beef? If it was not funny, would anyone remember that tagline, or would it have just disappeared into the ether, right? Like, who cares then? It's just some, if it was a spokesperson and I'm asking, where's the beef, right? Like, who cares?
Hey, that's so funny. I mean, the Where's the Beef? I mean, it was her too, though, right? She was funny.
Exactly. She was funny. That's why you remember the commercial, because it was funny, right? Not same thing with the what's up. Like they're kind of funny commercials. If it was just somebody saying what's up, like, not doing it, it's not going to be funny. But funny is hard, because you've seen, for every time you've seen these succeed, think of how many commercials and how many brands have done something. They try to be funny and it doesn't work. And oh boy, that's bad. That's like a stand-up standing on stage and bombing. You do not want to bomb as a brand trying to do funny, because it's cringeworthy, right? And I think it actually could really hurt your brand.
Yeah, funny thing. I listened to I forget, some podcast just while I was driving from Vegas over to Utah. I was listening to a podcast, and it was two comedians, and they were talking about, even now, as big as they are, on occasion, they feel like they bombed, right? They could do the same joke 2 nights in a row, and one audience gets it and one doesn't, because there's an energy in the room. And I think commercials the same way. I mean, I might have laughed harder because Courtney is in the room and she laughed. She got there was energy just between us watching that one commercial about the baby, right? I laughed, she laughed, I laughed more, right? And I think audiences are like that as well. So live comedian audiences are different than a commercial, but I think a commercial can feed on the energy in the room as well. Think about it. I told you this, half the time we don't even look at it. We don't even look at the commercial.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for some reason, it caught my attention.
Yeah, and I think humor is one of those things that can help you do that. Because I know there's been commercials that, you know, especially on streaming, it's like, oh my God, I can't watch this for the 50th time. And there's been times where it starts and you start tuning it out, and I'm not paying attention, and it's going on. And then you realize, wow, that commercial's been on all week as we've streamed whatever. I still don't know what it's for. Because you just, it's like the famous banner blindness online, where your mind subconsciously blocks out banners and ads. It's the same thing. It you know, it's just like I smack myself in the face with this. Like, you tend to block out some of these commercials, and even ones that are trying to be funny, if they're not pulling it off, it just fades. But there's the other issue. you've seen those commercials where it's funny the first time and then it keeps going again, and you just see it every commercial break, and then it's not funny anymore, and it gets annoying really quick.
Yeah. So, first of all, my favorite one that I love is the Dollar Shave Club one. You remember that? Where,
I know I've seen it, but I can't picture it. Yeah.
all right. So it's like the CEO of Dollar Shave Club, and he's taking a tour of where they make their blades. Right. And there's just weird stuff. It went viral on YouTube. You can probably still go watch the viral, Shave Club commercial. But it's him going through, and there'll be like stuff like all of a sudden a gorilla comes out in a cart. He's pushing his gorilla, or there's weird stuff that's happening as he's talking very seriously about his product. But it's like chaos going on all the way around in the warehouse. But he's just showing everything. And he's trying to be, CEO and all that. But and it's funny. Every single bit of it was funny.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that they didn't do, I mean, think about that. If you throw a gorilla in there, it's like nonsensical. Nonsensical is pretty good.
Mhm.
When you start to mix something real, you're going to lose half the audience. And I'll talk about, politics or religion or, all these taboo subjects. If you try to mix humor in that with your brand, I think you're dead. I think that's where it fails.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I would agree. A little bit of BS here. A few years ago, we were at the Phoenix Open, and I was sitting up on a hill we were looking down watching, not really the golf, because it was Saturday. Saturday is just out. You've been there. You know what it's like, right? It's out.
I like Saturday. I like Saturday.
Saturday's the fun day because it's completely unhinged, right? And I remember sitting up on this hill, and I don't remember which hole we were overlooking at the time, and we were having some drinks and stuff. And there's a guy in a gorilla suit running down the hill in front of us, like full speed towards the green. The full gorilla in a blue suit. And I was the only one that saw him. There was so much weird stuff going on the golf course. I swear, later I'm like, "Hey, do you guys, did you see the gorilla?" And they're like, "What?" And it's the only one that saw the gorilla. It's bizarre, but that was it. That's you know what it's like on Saturday. There's just weird stuff going on in every nook and cranny of that entire golf course. So,
yeah, I'm surprised. The thing is, they got those general admission tickets, and every college kid in town comes, and they just go all out.
I think they got rid of those last year.
Did they? They probably needed to.
Well, they had a bit of an issue 2 years ago. It went a little bit south,
which one was the rainy one? What was the raining one where it was just a mud bowl where people?
I think that was 2 years ago, and it went south really bad. And fortunately, neither of us, you weren't there, we weren't there. It got really messy really quick when you have a few 100,000 people on a golf course and it's rainy and it's muddy and they're all drunk. It just was a mess. And we just rode our bikes past there a few days ago, and they have way more stands than they used to. And so I looked and I'm like, I haven't checked, but I'm like, man, you know what? There's no more general admission. Almost guaranteed. There are so many seats now that I think they're probably jacked the price. Fewer people, you get a seat, which for me is kind of like, that's pretty good, because it'll still be fun, but it won't turn into a riot. It's less likely to, I think. So,
yeah. You mentioned like the "Where's the Beef Girl." I'm kind of bringing it back to that just for a second because it hit my mind. We're like, well, we liked her, the woman, because she was funny. It reminds me of the Life Alert, commercials from like the 80s and 90s. Right? I've fallen and I can't get up. That's still a joke, a running joke today. And those commercials haven't been around since what, the 80s?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that is
90s?
like, I don't know if they were even around the 90s maybe, but man, that is going way back. And those commercials were not supposed to be funny, but man, were they funny.
They were fun. Think about it. It's funny. And they probably made all their money on those commercials.
Oh yeah. Unintentionally, because I don't think they didn't want the commercial to be funny. But if it had released today, it would have gone viral. Although people might have complained and said it's not funny, and tromped on it. But it's the other flip side where that was as close to going viral as you could get. That one, I fallen, I can't get up. Where's the beef and what's up? Those are the three that I can remember from like 80s, 90s ish. I don't know if nothing else pops to mind. But look at the longevity when something's done well, and it's I don't even know if something goes viral today. I'm curious. If something goes viral today, does it have, I doubt it has any lasting effect. I doubt very much 30 years from now, anyone's going to remember anything simply because of the volume. Like just what was funny or viral. I wouldn't even say this week. Today probably is gone by tomorrow. These are the commercials stuck around for sometimes probably years. And it became part of the culture.
All right. Well, don't let Debbie Downer Blaine hurt your business, right? You won't live just one day. You can live forever if you just contact cashflowmike.com. Go to cashflowmike.com and you can learn how to maximize cash in your business where you can stick around forever and not be in one ear and out the other the next day like Debbie Downer Blaine does and says. You can actually have your business live beyond tomorrow. Contact me. I'm Cashflowmike, cashflowmike.com. Get your free stuff like how to analyze your business in 7 minutes or less. And you won't fall. I'll help you up. We can do this better together.
All right. I don't think I was being Debbie Downer, just pointing out that just the difference today to 1980s, but okay, I'll let you have it.
I was trying to make a funny commercial.
Oh, okay. Okay. At my expense. Is that funny then? No, that was good. That was good. It was a nice little segue. That's good segue.
But there are some funny. And by the way, if that was a commercial, by the way, if you're listen to it and like going, that came out of nowhere. That was done. Well, it's about 30 minutes in. So we try to get our mid-roll sponsors right in around the 30-minute mark. That could be you, by the way. If you don't listen to our nonsense, our made-up commercials about dry run and how fantastic it is, it's the best forecasting software on the planet, or you get tired of hearing about Cashflow Mike and how much money you can find in your own business, guess what? You could have that spot. Just contact us at mikeandblaine.com.
And even if you're funny, it's even better.
And if you're funny, it's even better. Yeah, it's better. All right, so there's a couple different ones I like. I know when you went, what's up? When you did that, I like the guy. I don't think it's Allstate. Now I can't even remember the brand. I like the, what's it called? Mayhem. I like the Mayhem guy.
Oh, yeah. Those are good. From 30 Rock.
Yeah, he's from 30 Rock. Yeah,
he's from 30 Rock.
30 Rock.
Yeah,
but he plays Mayhem in these commercials, and it's just random stuff that happens, and he's talking about it, and the chaos happens around him, but he's talking about how you can avoid him.
Yeah,
and I think that's just so clever. It's just so clever how they come up with those situations and make him the chaos.
And I don't know if there's a lot of people that could pull that off like he does. And what's funny is he's the same character as he is on 30 Rock. And I kind of get the feeling, I think that's just that guy. I think, sometimes people get the same character every time. Like, I think it's just, that's who he is. So that's
and that's why a lot of actors don't want to do stuff like that, because you become that guy in every movie.
Yeah.
And some actors are like that for me. Like Vince Vaughn, I think he's funny as hell. His timing and all that and his quips are funny. But I don't care what movie I watch, he's the same guy.
Yeah, he's the same guy. Movie to me. But there's some reassurance in that because if you like that, it's like I know what I'm in for. I know what I'm getting with Vince Vaughn, right? And and speaking of which, it's coming up to the Christmas season. And if you haven't seen 4 Christmases with Vince Vaughn, it's a pretty funny show. We watch it almost every year.
that's an every year thing. So
Yep.
you got to do that.
Yep.
Hey, speaking of Christmas, I just watched, gosh, I'm going to say this out loud on a recording, and it was really good. And I hate to admit it. The Jonas Brothers Christmas. Just watch. Courtney made me watch it. Courtney made me watch it. And damn it, I laughed and they're funny. Those are three guys that are authentically them, right? At least what I think, what they portray in like these things. I'm like going, damn, really good. And I don't think they're acting. I think that's them. That's the way I feel. And I think that's what you should be in as an actor. That's you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's still pretty funny, actually. I know who they are, but I don't know that much about them. I just know that I probably would not tune into something called the Jonas Brothers Christmas.
I bet though, if you heard a couple songs in a row, you're like, oh yeah. You would probably know, if you went to a concert, you'd probably know every song. You would probably even sing it.
Maybe, but you know what? That's what's also changed is I don't listen to radio, and I don't know if radio is kind of a thing anymore. So like I pick a lot of the stuff I listen to, and the algorithms pick everything else. So I think you kind of get pigeonholed, right? You get the algorithms decide what you're going to like, and you just keep getting more of the same, which means there's probably a lot of top 40 music I never hear because it just doesn't cut through the algorithm anymore. And I don't even know if I have a radio. I don't think I do. I actually don't own a radio. I think I could get a radio in my car, but even there, it's all streaming, right?
Yeah. You know, another series, there's two more series that I think about that are really funny. One of them is the Real Men of Genius series by Budweiser. Remember that? Here's to you,
No.
Mr. All right. So go look at that series. You'll probably watch all of them. But they talk about like, here's to you, Mr. Fan that stays till the end. Even if they're fan, and they tell this story about just a regular person, right? That's doing something either abnormal or something you wouldn't expect, or that we all do all the time, and how we're heroes and we're real American heroes because we do that one thing, right? Like we stay till the end, even when our team's losing and there's no hope, and you're going to be stuck in traffic for 4 hours. Just like it'll throw in stuff like that, but go watch that series of commercials about Real Men of Genius.
That sounds kind of familiar now when you say it. I do think I've seen some of those. It sounds too familiar for me not to have seen that, I think.
Yeah, here's to you, Mr. Blah, 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 man. And they tell a little story. And it's partly true and partly like exaggerated. And I love it. It's a great mix of the way to do it.
And good humor is timeless too. That's the other thing. That's what makes it really powerful, is the timelessness of it.
Well, the one that was very similar, that's why I thought of both of them at the same time, was Pemco Insurance. When I lived up in Seattle, Pemco Insurance had this series about, their whole tagline was, we're a lot like you, a little different. That's our whole tagline. We're a lot like you, a little different. And they say, then they would have all these characters like, wear socks with sandals guy, right? Hey, and they make fun of the guy. They said, well, we're a lot like you, Mr. Socks with Sandals guy. We're a little different. Right? But they have all these, like a whole cast of characters of just things you see every day. And they've made them into people that are just slightly, maybe we make fun of them a little bit or whatever it is. It looks funny. But they said, we're just like you. We're just a little different.
The one series that comes to mind lately from the last couple of years, that's commercials that I'm not even sure who it's for, to be honest. But I think you've probably seen these commercials where it's about people as they're becoming their parents.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah, they're really clever. They're really funny.
I actually like to coach. No, we don't do that.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. He's really good. Yeah, they're classic.
Another guy whose timing is just perfect. Like, the guy, he wants to start talking about the weather. He's talking about chatting with somebody in the elevator. He goes, no.
Yep. Yeah. And you know what? They I think it brings up the point of, to do it well, you have to have two things, right? The writing has to be impeccable, And then you have to have the people that can actually deliver, because we've all seen sitcoms that have, when the writers leave, it goes off a cliff and is done within a year because the writing is so incredibly important. But you also have to have the people that can deliver it. And in fact, I'll say the writing is way more important than the people delivering it. No, I shouldn't say way more, but I think it is important on the balance.
Okay. But you know, I tried humor in my very first bar. I've told you the story before, right? It was some guy's last name, like Roughgar or something like that. It was like, that's what I bought, was Roughgar's Bar and Grill.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to use his name as my place. So I changed the name of it. And because I'm not great at naming things, cash flow, cash flow tool, because I'm not great at naming things, it was on Church Street. So I named it Church Street Bar and Grill. Right? I'm like, at least you know where we're at.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great
name.
Good name.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. There are 4 churches. This is only about a 4-block long street, and there's 4 churches on there, culminating at like a T intersection with a major, I think it's a Catholic school.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like all of these churches on the street with a bar. So I made these T-shirts up the first or second year, and they freaking sold like crazy, man. We were selling them like it's
Yeah.
but it had my logo across the front, Church Street Bar and Grill had the logo on the back, because I was too cheap early on to buy a Sunday license, because you had to buy 2 licenses in Missouri. I had to buy Monday through Saturday and then a Sunday license, which cost as much as the other one. So think about it. It doubles the price.
Yeah.
Am I going, nah, dude, we just close on Sundays.
Yeah.
Right. So that's basically what I said is, I don't even know if this thing's going to work to begin with. We'll just close on Sundays.
Yeah.
So on the back, I said, come to church every day but Sunday.
Nice.
Put it on the back of the shirt, right? Yeah.
That's great.
And people thought it was funny. So I had pastors from the churches on that street go, yeah, that's pretty good. Right? Nice. Because they knew that I'm like, the Sunday was for them, their church, right?
Yeah.
Come to church every day but Sunday, right?
Well, and the thing is, there is clever sells. And I actually think clever is less risky than pure humor, right? Because that's funny, but it's also super clever. And I think clever is another tactic that you can use that can do really well for you, but you don't have to worry about it as much being funny, right? Like we had years ago, when we were at some conferences, we had a couple of stickers. I've told you about these before. They're actually on this bulletin board in front of me here. And we had ones that robots can't and things like that. But we had one, dry run, of course, that said, before shit gets real. And a little asterisks in the eye. But that's what it was. We had buttons and we had stickers. And the amount of people that would come up to our booth, and that's what they wanted. They wanted a sticker or a button. Hey. Yeah, got that shit gets real one. And that was 100-fold every other button, sticker, anything that we had. People would literally come up and ask for this. I don't think it was like amazingly funny or anything, but it was just clever. It was clever enough that people made the connection and wanted it, right?
No, your button thing, I keep trying to think about how can I do that without stealing from you?
Dude, steal all day long, man. Steal it all. You could use the same phrases even.
Yeah, it was so good. I mean, robots can't, stuff like that were so good.
Those little buttons and stickers were so good.
The trick to me is like, you got to know your audience. Like, what works for the frat daddy doesn't work with the bankers. So you got to know, you're going to alienate people right off the bat if you try to go down the human road. And I try to tell people, I says, hey, you got to punch up, not down. Right? So punch up at big things that we all kind of agree on or we all kind of know about. If you try to punch down at a smaller problem or a smaller set of people or something like that, that never works either, right? So
That's a
And I like,
good way of viewing it.
yeah. And then the other thing that I think, the things I've just mentioned to you, I love surprise. I would
Mhm.
have never expected somebody to throw a piece of raw chicken on a baby. And then then the other lady goes, "Whose baby is that?" I'm telling you, dude, I still laugh. I can't watch it. I can't talk about it without laughing. It's that good. I still
Okay,
don't
I'm gonna
know the
track
name of
this
the
down.
company.
I'm gonna watch
Yeah,
this tonight. I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
track
put
it
it.
down.
I'm gonna put it on. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on Facebook. Well, if you, this is the funny part. Other than that, then they start talking about the product and what it does and those type of things. But that
Yeah,
got my attention. The very first part. I'm not in the cleaning market, so I don't need to
yeah,
know what they're selling. But that got my attention to. I watched the whole thing in case
yeah.
it did something else crazy. Uh, the other thing that never works is if you got inside jokes, those never work. I've tried to do inside
Mhm.
jokes where you got to be in the community to really get it. It doesn't work because everybody goes like, "I don't get it."
Doesn't fly. Yeah. The, talking about the timelessness, that's where I think you see the effectiveness of really good writing and also the right actors and everything else, the right execution. But there are probably 100 sitcoms over the last 20 years that no one's even heard of anymore. They've come, gone, no one cares, right? But it's amazing when you have really good writing and really good execution, how timeless they can be and how funny a show from 40 years ago can be, 50 years ago can be, 20 years ago can be, because they're just they're just so well done, right?
Yeah, and the ones that are well done don't marginalize anybody, right? They're not
No.
sexist. They're not, they don't. Again, that's why I say punch up, not down, right?
Mhm.
Bigger,
Yeah.
not smaller. So I think that's what makes it, to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's funny where it's laughing with people, not at people, I think is important too. And for a business, oh my God, it's super important. Like you that's what makes humor challenging, right? And sometimes it's even what makes clever challenging. You don't want to be attacking people. Um, I think that's you think it might be a quick win, but I think it's overall a big loss. I think that's a very dangerous area to tread.
Well, and I'm also seeing some friends of mine that have tried it in different venues, different things. And sometimes there can be too much humor, right? Where it overshadows what you did. Maybe
Yeah.
like this cleaning product, I can't, explain because once I laughed and then you got the serious stuff, the
Mhm.
humor overshadowed it. It
Yeah.
became the thing to me, not the product. The humor was what I watched, not, you know what I mean? You don't
Yeah.
want it to be too much of your brand.
Oh yeah. We all know there's commercials out there that are clever or funny and you still like you could watch it 50 times and not know what it's about. Never pick it
Yeah.
up. And I think the writers are sometimes, they're oh no, it's a brand building or whatever. They'll make an excuse, but if you don't know what the hell it is, then I don't think you're getting very far.
Sure. Hey, can I tell you? All right. So remember, I'm in Utah.
Mhm.
So I'm at that client who actually brings in lunch every day
Oh
for
yeah,
their
okay.
employees, right?
Yeah.
And today they had chili. Texas, right? I'm from Texas, so
Mhm.
chili's a big part of our lives, and it's that time of year. And I go, oh man, I'm gonna want some chili. And I stopped short. I went in kind of almost last because I was trying to watch people because you can have bad chili. Like, going, oh man, they
Mhm.
ruined chili. And I
Yeah.
expected that out of Utah. I'm like going, no way they've nailed chili. There's no way because I've had Mexican food in Utah. It's not the same as Texas. There's
Mhm.
no way they got chili right.
Yeah.
I went in, damn it. They're really good. It was so good. I was like, going, oh my God, I could have two, three, four bowls of this. I could
Nice.
actually blow my down. It was really, and there was a little sweet to it that I wasn't used to. It had a heat and a sweet, right? A
Oh,
heat and a
nice.
sweet.
Nice.
And it was really good. Now, if people are from Texas, they'll say beans do not belong in chili. Dude, I'm tell you what, I lived long enough up in Missouri, Illinois area that beans belong in chili. Yeah. So I'm a bean fan that puts some beans
Yeah.
in it. So I like beans in my chili. So that's me.
I like beans in chili too, but all the way up in Canada, we've heard that debate. Should there be beans in chili? And a friend of mine has actually won basically every contest he's entered with his chili. He's won. And we were over there just about a month ago, and he made this chili, and damn, it was good. It was really, really good.
I have a trophy in my house, first place in chili.
Nice.
Yeah. So
You have to
I
put that
become a
beside the
snob.
Mike Mylan Bowl, man.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something. People like going, they kind of don't like it when they hear about it and then taste it. Goes, yeah, it makes sense. I put garbanzo beans in it.
Yeah, I could see that. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So for those of you that don't know, garbanzos are chickpeas, y'all.
I was going to say that, like, for Canadians, that's a chickpea, but it took me a while at the grocery store to find them. Like, where the hell are the chickpeas? And I was like, what the hell is a garbanzo bean? But they look exactly the same. Turns out they are the same thing.
Yeah, they're the same. Yeah. Same thing. Isn't that funny? A lot of people don't know that. Yeah. So, but yeah, so I'm big on. I love this time of year. Chili doesn't make sense to me any other time of year except for the fall, winter. I don't know what. Maybe it's heavy. Maybe it's thick. Maybe I don't know what it is. I don't like it all year long.
Well, if you ask me about chili, the times that I picture it the most up in Canada is in the summer, because it's usually at a barbecue, which is usually outside.
Really?
Hamburgers, hot dogs, and someone made chili. But it's not 100 degrees up there, right?
Okay, but chili for the dog. They're not just eating a bowl of chili.
No, that's on the side. That's one of the sides is like chili, and like that's really common. You might have a steak or might have a hot dog, hamburgers, and someone has a slow cooker full of chili. Like that's really common. And I pick and much more in the summer because that's when you have the barbecues. But like I said, it's not 100 degrees up there. That's the difference, right? Oh, sometimes it is, but not very often.
Probably so. All right. So last bit of BS and we'll kind of wrap this thing up. All right. So Utah now has an NHL team.
Yes.
Right. They were going to call it the Yetis, and then they got into a trademark war with
the
Yeti coolers. Right. Yep. And now they call it the Mammoths, right?
Utah Mammoth. Yep.
I think their stuff looks kind of cool. I like their logo. I don't know.
I think it looks pretty cool.
I don't know if the hockey team is going to be that great, but it looks really cool.
They are actually pretty good because that was Phoenix Coyotes not too long ago, and Phoenix had built up quite a nice roster before they moved to Utah. They're a nice hockey team. They're an up and coming team, but I think they're past up and coming now. They're a pretty solid hockey team with kind of a cool logo and kind of a cool name.
Yeah, I think the Yetis would have been cool too.
Would have been awesome. I think everybody knows how awesome it would have been, but Yeti is a really big brand, and I think the problem that they had is when they start to brand, products in the souvenir shop, and suddenly you can't do mugs and you can't do coolers and you can't, like, there's a whole bunch of things they just wouldn't be able to do. And so it forced them to come up with a different name. And so they've had to go with Mammoth. And I got to mention a small bit of BS on the topic of Mammoth. Heather and I are going to watch the band Mammoth December 6th. And we are so excited. So it's Wolfgang Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen's son, has a band called Mammoth because that was actually the original name of Van Halen when they were, kind of in high school. Yeah, we really like him. He's fantastic. And Miles Kennedy is opening for him, who we saw last fall, which was also just an amazing show. So we're excited to go.
I did see an article where he's trying to get his own name. I mean, it's got to be hard being underneath a name like that in the same genre.
I think he would have had a harder time, except he is really talented. His albums, he does everything on them. He sings, he plays guitar, he plays bass, he plays drums, and it's really well done. And he can play guitar really well. His songwriting is amazing. He put I think, a lot of naysayers to bed really quickly. And Miles Kennedy is a fantastic act too. And the most fun part is it's not in a giant place. It's, I don't know, holds 1,000 people, a couple thousand people. It's going to be a small place. Love shows like that. So we're excited to go see that one.
Right on. So 215 in the books. This one went fast, right? I thought it went really fast. I mean, it was a fun one, I think.
It was lots of fun. And then my son Juju is 8%, which probably helped go fast too. But this was a fun one, and it would maybe it's because we're in the same time zone this time. Maybe that has a little bit of adds to the vibe somehow.
Could be. So, hey, if you like this one, you should tell at least 3 friends. Go tell them to like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn. Go check out our website, mikeandblaine.com. Buy our merch. We got merch. Or if you've heard what we did at the beginning of the episode, we thanked all of our beer sponsors. That could be you. You want to tell them about beer sponsorship? There you go.
Just all you got to do is buy us a beer. We're going to mention you. You can go to our website. We haven't even done inflation. We have happy hour priced beers, and we will mention you. And you know what? Most of our sponsors will go all through to the end of the year. We've got some now going into 26. Thank you, Devin. And hopefully we're going to have a bunch of these of our sponsors are going to step up again and help us go through 26 as well and be sponsors all the way through. But you can be too. So go to mikeandblaine.com, buy us a beer, and we're going to mention you.
Check out their website at mikeandblaine.com. Then subscribe to the podcast and buy these guys a beer.